Welcome back to another quarterly portfolio update. If you are stopping by for the first time, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. In this video, I will share with you how much I invested during the fourth quarter of 2022, the number of shares that I bought, and the value of my portfolio at the end of the quarter, which was December 31st, 2022. I will also show you how much dividend I received for the quarter. But as always, before I continue, a quick disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing does not constitute financial advice. Before you invest in anything, please do your own research and make sure that you only invest in things that you understand. With that being said, I will dive right into my portfolio update. I will start with a quick recap of my Q3 portfolio to show you the value of the portfolio and the number of shares that I had before the beginning of Q4. At the end of Q3, which was September the 30th, the total equity of my portfolio was $29,974.07. My portfolio was down at $2,923.22. This was a minus 8.89%. I hold two Vanguard ETFs and the two BlackRock ETFs. The first Vanguard ETF is VCN. This is an ETF that tracks the entire Canadian market, and I had 56 shares of VCN at the end of Q3. The second Vanguard ETF is VFV. This is an S&P 500 index ETF, and I had 180 shares of VFV at the end of Q3. The first BlackRock ETF is XEQT. This is an all-in-one equity ETF which holds Canadian equities, US equities, other developed market equities, and emerging market equities. And I had 282 shares of XEQT at the end of Q3. The second BlackRock ETF is XUU. This is a US total stock market ETF. And I had 154 shares of XUU at the end of Q3. I will now show you how much I invested during the fourth quarter of 2022 and the number of shares that I bought. I bought 6 shares of VCN. The cost per share was $39.47. The total cost, $236.84. And this represents 5% of the amount that I invested in Q4. I bought 30 shares of VFV. The cost per share was $91.92. The total cost, $2,757.70. And this represents 53% of the amount that I invested in Q4. I bought 52 shares of XEQT. The cost per share was $23.70. The total cost, $1,232.53. And this is 23% of the amount that I invested in Q4. I bought 26 shares of XUU. The cost per share was $39.32. The total cost, $1,022.21. And this is 19% of the amount that I invested in Q4. In total, I bought 114 shares, all of the ETFs combined, in Q4. And the total amount that I invested was $5,249.28. This is $687.39 more than the amount that I invested in Q3. As you can see here quickly, in Q3, I invested $4,561.89. And in Q4, $5,249.28. The difference is $687.39. I will now show you the value of my portfolio and the number of shares that I had at the end of Q4, which was December 31st, 2022. The total equity of my portfolio at the end of Q4 was $36,801.69. My portfolio was down $1,343.70. This was a minus 3.52%. At the end of the quarter, I had 62 shares of VCN. This was 6.59% of the market value of my portfolio. 210 shares of VFV. This was 52.59% of the market value of my portfolio. 334 shares of XEQT. This was 21.88% of the market value of my portfolio. And 180 shares of XUU. This was 18.93% of the market value of my portfolio. I will now show you how much I received in dividend for Q4. I had 62 shares of VCN on the record date. As you may know, in order for you to receive an upcoming dividend payment, you have to hold the shares on the record date. The dividend amount per share for VCN was 31 cents. The dividend amount that I received, $18.93. This is 10% of the total amount of dividend that I received in Q4. I had 210 shares of VFV on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 37 cents. The dividend amount that I received was $76.80. And this is 41% of the total amount of dividend that I received in Q4. I had 331 shares of XEQT on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 17 cents. The dividend amount that I received was $55.67. And this is 29% of the total amount of dividend that I received in Q4. I had 180 shares of XUU on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 21 cents. The dividend amount that I received was $37.60. And this is 20% of the total amount of dividend that I received in Q4. In total, I received $189 in dividend in Q4. This is $77.96 more than the amount that I received in Q3. As you can see here quickly, in Q3, I received $111.04, and in Q4, $189. For the entire year of 2022, I received $477.80 in dividend. You can see here the breakdown per quarter. In Q1, I received $65.14. In Q2, $112.62. In Q3, $111.04. And in Q4, $189. The total is $477.80. All right, this brings us to the end of the video. Feel free to leave a comment below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.